Hey guys, what's up? I hope all of you are doing good and welcome back to yet another barefaced tutorial with me. I have been doing a lot of barefaced tutorial lately, I guess. Last 2-3 videos have been barefaced. Earlier I was really shy of, facing the camera without any makeup on my face, but now it's like, let's do it. So coming back to today's video, I am gonna talk about this beautiful fancy palette right here with me. This palette is from Glazed. It is called the Perfect Eyeshadow. I mean, the name is Perfect Mix Eyeshadow. And before I talk anything about this palette, I want you guys to have a closer look at this. Okay, now does that remind you of any palette? Oh, okay, sorry, what kind of a stupid question is that? You'll already know that from the title of this video. Now this is an exact dupe of the Huda Beauty new Nude palette, yeah. This has the exact, if not the exact, the shades are very close to what the Huda Beauty new Nude palette has. Now I have not used the Huda Beauty new Nude palette yet. It is still not available in India. So I don't know how close the shades are, but just by looking at the palette I can say that the shades are quite similar to the ones present in the Huda Beauty new Nude palette. So now first I'm going to talk about the packaging of this palette, and this is how it looks like. It has a sparkly rose gold packaging, and the same is present even on the inside. These are the beautiful shades, as you can see. The mirror is not present here, which I kind of missed, but it's okay. So I'm going to be swatching all these shades for you guys. Firstly, I'm going to be swatching the matte shades, and then will be the shimmers. Now one thing that I would like to mention here is that I don't believe in hand swatching the eyeshadows, because the way they swatch on the hand sometimes is very different from the way they apply on the eyelids. But anyway, in today's video I'm not going to use all of these shades obviously, so I'm going to be swatching these. So that's all about swatches, and now it's my playtime. So I am going to apply the eyeshadow on my eyes. So firstly I'm going to prime up my eyelids, and this is something that I do for all the eye looks that I create, and for which I'm going to use my Fit Me concealer. You can use any concealer that you have. Now I am not going to use the concealer present in this particular palette. That is because the consistency is very thick and I'm just not comfortable working with that. If you are, you can use the concealer from this palette. Now if you guys are following me on Instagram, you would already know from where did I get this palette, and in case if you guys are not following me, I am gonna link my account down below in the description box. You can go and check that out. Anyway, all the details about this palette are gonna be mentioned in the description box, so make sure you check that once. Okay, so for this particular palette, I'm going to do my eyes first, and you will know the reason as and when we proceed. So to start with, I'm going to apply this shade called Bisque, and I'm going to put it on my crease. And I'm also slightly blending this shade into my crease. So the brush that I used earlier was a small blending brush. It was not very fluffy. Now I'm going to take a flat applicator brush, it's not an applicator brush, a flat small blending brush like this. And I am going to use this shade called Brick and apply it again into my crease just to define my crease even further. And now I'm going to blend these two shades really well. These shadows are actually blending very well. Okay, moving on, I'm going to use this shade called Scarlet and this shade called Cocoa together, and again apply it on my crease. And now I'm going to take a small shader brush like this, and I am going to use this shade called Maroon and apply it just on my crease and a little bit on the outer corner. And then diffuse out any harsh edges that you have. And now coming to the most interesting part, I'm going to cut my crease, and for that I'm going to use the same concealer. Plus I'm going to use an angled brush like this. This is the Pack 222 brush. So I'm starting with just a very little bit of the concealer on the brush. And now I'm slightly diffusing the edge of this concealer. Moving on, I'm going to take this shade called Blink, and just using my fingers, I am going to apply it on my eyelids. Right now I'm going to take a flat applicator brush like this, and I've just dampened it up a little because that way the shimmer shades apply better. And I am going back to the shade called Blink and just apply it again over the eyelids. Alright, now I'm going to apply this shade called Dupe, and I'm just going to apply it on the outer corner of the cut crease. Now I'm going to take a tiny applicator brush and I'm just going to diffuse the edges of the two shimmer shades on my eyelids. Okay, now going back to the small shader brush again, and this shade called Mirror, I'm just going to define the outer corners and my crease again. So this is just to keep the outer corner intense and also to define the crease, getting rid of any excess glitter that might have gotten in the way. Can you guys look at the fallout that I have? I mean, the matte shades and the shimmer shades both have a lot of fallouts, and that is the reason why I decided to do my eye makeup first and then do the face makeup. And now I'm going to give my eyes a final blend just to make sure that no harsh edges are present on my eyes. So now I'm taking a cotton pad like this and I am just folding it into 4 halves. And now I'm just going to define the outer edge of my eye. I am just going to give a cat eye look to the outer edge. Okay, and for this look I'm not going to use any eyeliners just because I don't want to. If you guys want to have an eyeliner, you can definitely go ahead and line your eyes. And that's done. So now I'm just going to go off the camera, do the rest of my makeup, put on my lashes, do my lower lash line, do everything and be right back. Then I'm going to give you my final verdict on this palette. Okay guys, so I'm done with my makeup and I am back now. So on my eyes I'm having pack lashes in the number 62, and God only knows how many pack lashes I have with me. I actually love wearing pack lashes. They are so fluttery, so wispy. I just really like those. So on my eyes are those, and on my face I'm having the Maybelline Superstay foundation in the shade 128 Warm Nude. Now this foundation has been launched in India very recently. I have done a full review on this foundation. If you haven't checked that out, click. On my lips I have the Huda Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Trophy Vibe, and I am going to link everything that I have on my face down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out. And I am also going to provide the link to this product and also the price, shipping, everything in the description box, so do check that out. So now coming to my final verdict, I am going to give you the reasons for why should you go for this palette and the reasons for why not to go for this palette. Starting with why should you go for this palette. Number 1, this retails for 1,000 rupees, and if you see the price of the Huda Beauty palettes, they retail for 4,850 rupees. Now the new Nude palette hasn't been launched in India, but I am quite sure that the price is somewhere gonna be either in this range or more than that. So number 1, this is affordable. Number 2, the Huda Beauty new Nude palette has not been launched in India yet, so you don't quite have an option there. Number 3, I find this palette really good. There was only one shade, which is Maroon, the deep dark color that I have on the outer corner. That was a little bit difficult to work with. That was a little bit patchy. But apart from that, I think all the shades, including the shimmer shades, performed really well. So this palette is a hit for me. I don't really have too many reasons as to why should you not go for this palette, except that it has a lot of fallout. A lot of fallouts. I really mean that. So I don't think there is an option of doing your eye makeup after you do your face makeup. I don't think so. For me, it's not. Apart from this, I don't think I have anything to complain about. The packaging could have been a little better, by which I mean that there could have been a mirror attached to the lid of it. Now even though there's no mirror attached to this palette, I'm not gonna complain because I really like the shades that it has. You can actually play around with this palette and create a lot of looks, right from a glam look to a neutral look, whatever you want. So that is something that I really like. So that is pretty much everything I wanted to talk about this palette. If you guys want to try this palette out, or if you were in search of the new Nude palette and you're just waiting for it to launch in India, I think you can give this one a try. This is really worth it. The shades are pretty much similar. They at least they look pretty much similar to the shades of the new Nude palette. Even I am waiting for the new Nude palette to launch in India. I really want to try that out. Let's see when it launches. For me, I think this palette works beautifully. And this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys had fun watching this video and you liked the video. If you did, you know what to do. Please do not forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. That would mean a lot to me. And to receive regular updates from me, please do not forget to hit the bell icon, which is right next to the subscribe button. And I am going to see you very soon in my next video.